Okay, we continue our next one. Also about function. I think we covered earlier with the other lecture notes. So we resume from there. Alice earlier pointed about the number you need to remember. So same thing. Some consciousness perform more than one function. Okay, so we're going to do further study on how this relinking work. So cheetahs of rebirth relinking total 19, which earlier the notes already given. This is a breakdown taken from YMBA notes. So investigating with neutral feeling is 2. Then under here, you have broken into 1 each. Immoral resultant 1, moral resultant also 1, so total 2. And then the great resultant Mahavipa 8, then the sincere, beautiful consciousness 8. Remember earlier we have that one from the other institution, same thing also, the same thing they broken down. And then a 5 material sphere consciousness 5, the immaterial 4. So total 19. So take note, Chitta of life continuum and Chitta of death are each 19. Okay, so life continuum and also death each are 19 consciousness. So when evil done to any of the 3 ways of the child unwholesome consciousness, except consciousness accompanied by equanimity, associated with restlessness, rooted in illusion, are capable of giving rebirth in woeful, unhappy place. That means in Niraya, Apaya, that means in the hell. And also animal world, Peta world, and then realm of Asura. Okay, so when you do evil, unless you do really, really bad, then likelihood is this one, the hell. Other than that, high chance become animal, or unlucky, Peta, or become demon, one of these. So when you are born in any of these woeful realms, the first consciousness of newly born will be first mentioned in the resultant consciousness. That's why the ending of your life, the last cut off, you become what? You become what? Because the resultant is definitely, it cannot change. So that's why whenever we hear from monk, they say when you are in a struggling state, especially towards the last breath, then you are seeing all those bad scenery, then it's best to ask monk for help. Hopefully, you can transform from your bad state to something at least a human or whatever. So better than the full woeful state. That's what they always mention. When you see people desperate for help, we try to get monk to help them to switch their so-called last stop moment to a better, good thing in the past which they have done. So hopefully their destiny for the woeful, it can become better. How to evade? I don't know. Each individual, when you see them suffering, we as a Buddhist, we should help them. So it will take rebirth linking function in the 4 woeful realm. So you are bad one, definitely one of the 4. So wholesome resultant rootless consciousness arise as a rebirth linking consciousness of the lowest grade of beings in the sense blissful plane, human realm, and the 6 celestial. Even you are good, no guarantee you are born of perfect kind. Sometimes not that perfect, it's of poor quality. Right? Poor quality, I mean, not like a normal human being or an excellent human being, but of poor grade. Okay, a defect on something else. Okay, so this kind of birth is classified as sensuous, blissful plane, rootless rebirth. Okay, so all these are karma thing. We can't control ourselves. Okay, as a being, we are not enlightened. We are suffer to all this. Unlike Buddha, can select whatever he wish. So it's a resultant of a wholesome karma, which is of inferior, they call it omaka, is also a 2 roots of non-greed or non-hatred. We're going to study this. You are seek for rebirth. Normally, we hope to have all the roots. So 3 roots of good one, But if you're unlucky in your previous one, you commit something bad, then you only have these two rules of non-greed and non-hatred, but you suffer from the delusion, non-delusion become delusion. So you are born with two-rooted, then you have another problem. So you are sort of call it low-class human, not high-class. You suffer from delusion. The mean you always have wrong kind of thinking, wrong kind of view. So these people who are suffering from this have this kind of suffering. So some human born of congenitally blind. I mean, they are born blind or deaf, and those with deformity and mentally retarded are regarded having this type of rebirth linking consciousness. This is very good explanation against science. Science cannot give you explain. They always blame the DNA or your hereditary, okay? Hereditary, your forefather, whoever generation, have this kind of sort of thing, or what I call it, DNA. Then the likelihood of happening of all of this bad condition is due to heritage. Okay, so this explained in science, but in Buddhist thing, Buddha explained very clearly. If your previous life you lack of something, you born with two roots, then you suffer the effect of one of these things happening. Okay, so even you're born human, you're not perfect human. You suffer from deficiency of some sort. So they say same thing. Some of the Vinipatika Asuras, and also Asura are those demon, and also the Vema Nika Petas, hungry ghosts, two born with some consciousness, same consciousness. I mean, even those born in back shape one, like the hungry ghosts or those demon, they also suffer from the same defect. If they also in previous life did something wrong, they also suffer in their next current life with defect, two-rooted. Okay, so this thing is, that's why we try not to do evil. As hopefully born next as a next being to have all the roots. You don't have roots, missing root, we suffer. We are not a perfect human. So the four great sense sphere resultant with two roots of non-greed and non-hatred. Four great sense sphere resultant with all three roots of non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion. This is what we hope for. We hopefully every existence has all the three roots. You suffer from one missing root, then we have a defect. So the first group of performing the rebirth linking function is called Devi Hetuka Patisandhi. Okay, this is under the first group. Devi is two. So the second group is where three roots are available, are called Dehi Tukha Patisandhi. So there's even one root. So one root, two root, and three root. So each of us must aim for three roots. With any defect, we cannot perfect anything in this current life. So the four sense sphere wholesome resultant consciousness dissociate with knowledge do the rebirth linking function. Especially those born with what you call without the knowledge one, then you suffer from this delusion. So resultant of superior wholesome act conducted with consciousness having two roots of non-greed, non-hatred, or wholesome consciousness having three roots but of an inferior quality or omaka. So even the three roots, you can have poor quality rebirth. So you are not say a better normal person, but a slightly inferior compared to a normal person. So this thing, the resultant birth is very worrying, especially we understand this. We try not to commit any evil. If commit evil, Even you born back a human, you suffer from sort of inferior quality. You born back, you suffer too. You cannot perfect to gain enlightenment as for every birth. So wholesome act to gain superior quality has to be conducted with equal zest at 3 periods of past, present, and future of the act. That's why they always encourage you, always do good. This previous life, next life, and the present life. Okay, all this period is the continuation of perfecting the next birth be a better than the current birth. So the doer has to maintain the wholesome mental factor in the sound order of the 3 stages of preparation. They teach you how you're going to prepare for your next rebirth. So you must prepare ready. So every time we down here, attending Dharma class, all this is a blessing to us because we are perfecting ourselves. Performing the act itself and after completion of the act without being contaminated by the hindrances. Okay, that's why you people every Sunday commit your time, come here, and then able to take the exam every June. It's a blessing to you all. You all are doing a very, very great deed to yourself and also perfecting yourself. You see your class so many. I don't know how many left here. So you can consider yourself as something, a blessing that you can continue without any hindrances. Okay. So you come to this state, you should be happy for yourself because you are perfecting yourself and every Sunday for this class to be a better human. So he said the Devi Hetu Pasisandi twice. A person having born with Devi Hetu Pasisandi, that means 2 roots, is very unlikely to gain fine material sphere absorption or the higher state of super mundane path food consciousness in this current lifespan. Okay. Person with these 2 roots, especially those with delusion or those with wrong view when you very earnestly practice meditation, no matter how hard you try, you cannot break through to the other absorption state because this fine material of delusion of the quality, you are not there. So you try so hard as other people practicing, but too bad in this current life, you short of this delusion route. That's why you can never attain to that state of meditation. So that's why we are born to perfect 3 roots, better practice hard to accomplish this existence. So however he may aspire and try, the reason being he does not possess the wisdom at the root level of his birth. I mean, he's suffering from wisdom. So he cannot perfect this state, even he practiced so hard on it. So that's why not all meditators can achieve that high standard of attainment. So this rebirth consciousness is devoid of wisdom. So this explains why some people practice very hard and able to achieve much in the meditation state. That's why many always go temple shopping, switch from one Seattle or switch to one day to another. Hopefully they can perfect it, but they never understand. They are devoid of wisdom. That's why they, no matter how much they try, can never perfect it. Tehetuka Pasi Tandi. And this is the best of all. As a human, we should have 3. Rebirth linking consciousness having 3 roots of non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion is the highest or the strongest form of birth one could get in this sensual plane. Okay, there's every one of us should have at this state. Okay, so every existence we should be able to perfect it, and next existence will be better than this existence. So all beings in the fine material and immaterial planes are generally born with this type of rebirth linking consciousness. So you want to be born in the heavenly state, you must have the kind of standard of the three roots one, then you achieve the state of so-called fine material and immaterial planes, rebirth. You know, you can never able to achieve that. Right? Your level is only up to human. So wholesome act having committed with triple roots, with equal zest during the period of preparation, execution, and after. So is every life in this current life, you're preparing for that, for your next existence. So the whole process of pure and genuine intention should be prevailed together with knowledge. That's why, as a Buddhist practitioner, we always must have this sort of knowledge. If you have knowledge, you don't easily give up. Okay, so we still have a better existence in the future. So rebirth linking function in the fine material Brahma world are performed by the respective fine material sphere resultant consciousness. So all this is due to the what you have inherit in your previous rebirth to born in this fine material sphere is because of the past. You have created all this so-called atmosphere for you and the condition for you to be there. So resultant immaterial sphere of consciousness does the rebirth functioning of immaterial Brahma world according to the respective absorption developed. So if you practice to be the immaterial sphere kind of realm, your next rebirth, then you're able to attain that. So it's not easy even to attain the Brahma or the immaterial world. So we must have at least three roots, okay? Even you're not qualified for that. As you know now, there are 19 consciousness which perform the rebirth linking function respectively, and thus the function of continuum of each individual. So life continue after death, rebirth linking and life continuum, this function must be on. So as a living being, you have this. This one we cover in the other institution notes. So function everything. So everything, there are two chittas. There are 5 sense door averting consciousness accompanied by equanimity. See, is one of them. The second one is the mind door averting consciousness accompanied by equanimity perform the function of averting. So these two, there are two kinds of citta here. So when object touches the respective sense door, the life continuum consciousness get arrested. So whenever you want to get attention, you must stop this life continuum consciousness. So to stop it, and then the five sense door will take over. So this five door, everything consciousness arise. So the five of them all arise, but the strongest one will take, and making room for the thought process to comment. So one of them will take over the strongest one, then the whole thought process continue. Okay. So when the object touches the mind door, this is talking about not the five faculty. It's talking about the mind. The mind door everything consciousness arise, interrupting the life continuous consciousness. So at any one time, only one will work. Not say simultaneously. There's only one. So we talk about seeing your eyes. When the everything consciousness is over, one of the two eye consciousness accompanied by equanimity arises during the function of seeing. The previous notes we talk about eye consciousness. There are two consciousness. I remember down there. They name the two. You need to know which are the two of them. As in the case of seeing and mentioned above one, 2-ear consciousness, same thing happened. Also 2-ear consciousness accompanied by equanimity arises when hearing the sound. So every of these faculty, 2 consciousness. Same to the smelling. For one of the 2 nose, tongue, and body, all of these following consciousness respectively carry out the function of smelling, tasting, and touching. So all these also 2. So in the case of body consciousness, one coming under the unwholesome group is accompanied by pain, while the other coming under the wholesome group is accompanied by pleasure. So for body, there's only 2 kinds. Suffering or pleasure. Okay, now we talk about receiving. We talked earlier also. It's performed by 2 consciousness too. The unwholesome resultant receiving consciousness accompanied by equanimity, one of them. And also the receiving consciousness accompanied by equanimity of the wholesome. So one is unwholesome, one is wholesome, resultant rootless group of consciousness. So these 2 is the consciousness that arise when doing the function of receiving. And function of investigating. This function is carried out by 3 consciousness. Remember, all the faculty and the mind 1, 2. For investigation, there are 3. So which are the 3? So investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity of the unwholesome resultant rootless consciousness. And then next one, investigating consciousness accompanied by joy. And third one, investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity. So the last mentioned 2 consciousness are these 2 and 3 fall under the wholesome resultant rootless consciousness. So these 2 are under the wholesome resultant rootless consciousness. There are a total of 15 resultant rootless consciousness. Remember earlier one, the notes down there also said there are 7 unwholesome one, 8 wholesome one are the real resultant when one experienced during the lifetime. So 15 resultant rootless consciousness. You must know 7 unwholesome, 8 wholesome. The unwholesome are the result of your previous sins, while the wholesome 8 resultant are the product of your meritorious karma performed previously in this life or even in earlier births. So whenever you go seeking for rebirth, these 2 will come and haunt you, the unwholesome one. and also the good one. So whichever arise will take the destiny for the next rebirth. So it advise that one should be very careful on the way you lead your present moment. I mean, our current existent life. Three things you need to take care of here: the bodily, the action, and the mouth, verbal. So don't anyhow without thinking. When you blare out, that's a good or bad karma. Is a result of your action, of your intention, and the mental action and the way you think. So each of us must at every moment, body, verbal, and mental action, be very mindful. Don't come out here, come out already, no cure. Even there's no way. You go to like the Hindu, they go to Ganges River, can wash away all their sin. Buddhists know, you created, you carry it for your whole life. Next, we talk about the functioning of determining. The consciousness which carry out the determining function is the mind door, everything consciousness. Okay, so what you going to act is your mind door. So this function takes place in the five sense door to the process immediately after the investigation consciousness. That's why we only every time can one process at a time. So the mind door is the one that create the intention. So when the intention is agreed, the function will take place in the five sense door, and then whatever happen is already done. Okay. Javana. So we talk about function of Javana. There are total of 55 Javana function at Javana. They are the unwholesome consciousness 12. The smart position consciousness 1. This one we covered earlier, the other institution notes. Sense sphere wholesome consciousness 8. Sense function consciousness 8. 8, 12. How many? Total 29. So this consciousness belong to the sense sphere named as Kama Javana. Okay. So this one already done earlier. So you need to know the breakdown of each of them. So because earlier total 55, these 29 are called Kama Javana. Okay. So the balance 26 consciousness are called absorption level Javana or Apana Javana. These are high level of what you call when you do kind of meditation, you go to absorption state, then you achieve all these kind of consciousness. The fine material sphere wholesome consciousness 5, fine material sphere functional consciousness 5, immaterial sphere wholesome consciousness 4, immaterial sphere functional consciousness 4, and super mundane wholesome 4, and then super mundane consciousness resultant 4, 26. So 26 plus the 29 total give you 55. Okay. No choice. You have to remember this figure for Abhidhamma. Okay, now we talk about realization. In realization, there are 11 consciousness doing this realization. The sense sphere wholesome resultant consciousness roots are 8. The rootless investigation resultant consciousness 3. So total 11. So you take note, one from the unwholesome group and the other 2 from the wholesome group. Wholesome 8, this unwholesome one 3. So one of these chitta arises twice in consecutive order after the jhana consciousness of suitable thought process. So another thing to take note, this citta can rise twice in the consequent order for certain circumstances. Okay. Okay, we covered earlier about this death, chuti. This is the last consciousness of any being. Every one of us has it. Its job is to cut off the life from you. Okay, you like it or don't like it, every one of us, it has equal one of them. So this function is performed by similar consciousness that give birth to the individual. So the moment your life is cut off, relinking the process take place very fast, one after another. It's also the same type of consciousness that arose in him as the Bhavanga Chitta of the particular individual during his lifetime when thought process do not take place to the five-door cognition. They call it the pancha or the mind-door cognition, mano. So the function of the death therefore is performed by the 19. So death, there are total of 19. We have the 19 consciousness too with the other nodes. That function as a rebirth, linking, and the life continuum. So this is a continuous process. Okay, after death, it's relinking, and then go back to life continuum. Okay, so all these number, please remember. I know hard for you, but for the exam's sake, we have to remember. Unless you have super mind, can remember all the charts figure, then I would highly comment on you. Okay, so this is lecture 5.